Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai. O praise unto Yahweh, Shimi Shai, Wakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a video going into the scriptures regarding the war, the world's war that's going to play out, and the war that these elites are going to fight against Yahweh Shai within the sky, within the air. And you're going to see more and more articles and more moves to make space the next battlefield. And that's with an effort basically to come up against Yahweh Shai upon his return. At the face of it, they might say the US versus Russia. And in truth, that might be the case. But ultimately, we know through the scriptures, through the prophecies, that there's going to be a war that's going to play out within heaven. And that war is going to see the fall of Esau and his empire and the rise of the children of Israel. Because our power, Yahweh, is going to send his son to deliver us from the hellhole that we're in right now. So without much further ado, I'm going to read a little bit of the article, and I'm going to try to go into the scriptures in a manner that's going to be edifying. Okay, so the book of so the article says space war between US and Russia will trap humanity on Earth no matter who wins. So this article basically is dealing with what? It's dealing with Russia and America having a nuclear arms race within the skies, and they are launching particular satellites into orbit that have weapons on them. And we already know that they got particular weapons out there in the sky, so they're making it into a major thing now. All right, so continuing, it says the acting U.S. Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan may claim the U.S. will win any war in space, not realizing that such a conflict will forever make humanity prisoner on Earth. Thankfully, his words are just propaganda. All right, it says, I'm fully confident we'll win a conflict in space today against Russia, China, or any other adversary. And it's that other adversary that on the surface of it, they're not going to let you know about. But ultimately, they're getting prepared for that. Because what you have to remember about this Bible and these scriptures is these elites, all right, the Edomites had these scriptures whilst we was in slavery, and they were studying these scriptures. And they got an understanding of the scriptures to a particular level. All right. Now we added the spiritual side of that understanding. That is to say, Esau sees a reality where he wins against our Lord Yahweh Shai, but prophetically speaking, the scriptures says that he's gonna lose. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with here at Great Millstone, in that pretty much we're dealing with the prophecies, man. Okay, we're dealing with what it says within the scriptures, okay? But like I was saying, they know about what the Bible says about external, existential threat, okay, an extraterrestrial threat that's going to come down and battle up against it, against the earth. But then they're going to tell you right now about it, because if people start thinking that there is an extraterrestrial threat, but they're going to, the first thing that they're going to ask is, what is that threat? And in asking what is that threat, well, you kind of reveal the end game, isn't it? And having the end game concealed, all right, is important in keeping the children of Israel down and on a low level. Because one of the main things that the children of Israel, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans do not know and need to know is that the powers of heaven, okay, the chariots of heaven, that's our vehicles, that's the vehicles of our salvation, okay? Those are the vehicles that we sang about during the times of slavery when we were singing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, okay, coming to carry me home by the river of the Jordan, etc., etc. I forget how the song goes, all right, because there's a lot of revelation that comes into play when you start revealing the chariots themselves are the vehicles. Okay, that's the so-called UFOs out there that they're going to fight up against. When you reveal that, there's a lot of questions that will be asked, and hence a lot of truths that will be unearthed. okay, a lot of truths that will be revealed. Okay, so continuing, it says, when asked at so that's what happened, right? So basically, I'm just reading this just to give you the background, and then you got another article here. All right, this is also an article. It says Russia warns U.S. against arms race on Earth and space after missile defense plans revealed. Okay, and we also know what Trump said not too long ago, a few months ago, regarding you know, getting missiles out there into space. Okay, so without much further ado, I'm going to go into the scriptures. I've got my scriptures here in the background, and then I'm going to read them to you, and it will be your duty to make the notes. Okay, and pretty much you know, do your due diligence to learn the scriptures. So the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, it says 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him. All right, this is what we're doing out here right now. This is what you're seeing with the camps that are popping up all over the place, because we're the ones that are standing up, okay, in great boldness. All right, and we're standing before our masters, our so-called slave masters, all right, and prophesying their future to them, which is that they're going to go into slavery, and made no account of his labors. And when they shall see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond what they have looked for. All right, because the strangeness of our salvation is the chariots of the Lord. All right, that's a strange thing right now, because that's not even a thing that gets pushed out into the mainstream. Now, when you check it out and you go into the history, whether it be biblical history or whether you're looking at circular history, right? The history of the Indians, okay, which are the Elamites in the scriptures, or you go into any other culture, in all of these ancient cultures, there was always the thing, okay, the presence of the UFOs, the chariots of the Lord. And you got these bugged out, okay, scientists basically that say that the pyramids were built by UFOs. They weren't built by the UFOs, it was built by the children of Israel. But the evidence, there's evidence that the history, okay, within the history, that the chariots of the Lord was always around, man. Okay, I use that example basically to say that the chariots of the Lord was always, you know, it was always there was always known, man. Okay, so I got another precept here. This is within the the book of Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, and I can go straight to the point. Right, Second Ezra 13:6 says, "Behold, I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it." Now check it out. You don't fly on a mountain, man. Okay, you don't fly on a mountain, but we know that the Lord, when he returns, is gonna come with a great chariot. Okay, the fathership, like we call it. All right, and that's gonna be likened unto a mountain because it's gonna be so big. Okay, remember he's gonna be delivering a lot of Israelites, man. Okay, and it also houses all the other subordinate chariots, little chariots inside it. You know, I mean, I don't know the exact ins and outs, but when the Lord appears, we're gonna see, right? So it says that, and he had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region where out the place was graven, and I could not. And I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue that man were thus afraid. Now this is where I jump to the book of Revelations, all right, and this should really put the nail, okay, in the coffin to give you the understanding of what I'm trying to go for here. So the book of Revelations, and this is 12:7, Revelations 12:7. It says, "And there was war in heaven, and Michael, which is the archangel, the top archangel, which the word Michael comes from the Hebrew word Michael, which means he one that is like the Most High." All right, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels. So this here, what you're seeing in the article, is the dragon prepping himself to fight up against the Lord. All right, so you ain't just gonna have it to where the Lord's gonna appear, and that day they're gonna figure out the technology to put it up there in the sky. There's a process to it. All right, and this is me showing you that the process to it has begun, okay, or is already begun. It's out there. They're doing it, which means that what? that our deliverance is that much closer. There was war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was his place found anymore in heaven. So them chariots are going to be blasted down, which is Esau's chariots. Okay, to clarify, just in case people get stupid, Esau's going to fight with his chariots, and the Lord's going to fight with his chariots. The chariots of the Lord are going to prevail. All right, but Esau, okay, the great dragon, the old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the world, right? He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So they're gonna fail miserably to fight against the Lord, man. Okay, so pretty much that's the video. You know, with that, I'm gonna say all praises unto Yahweh Shemi Ashai Warakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. Honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.